Back on the morning show, let's do our weekly check-in with Kirby Connell. Tennessee pitcher headed to Omaha again. Kirby, top of the morning to you. Congratulations on punching your ticket to Omaha.
Good morning to y'all. Thank you so much.
I got to ask, though, we've been debating it the last couple of days. I think I saw a couple tears. I think I saw the eyes getting a little misty there with that standing ovation and walking off the field for the last time. Can you confirm or deny?
I can confirm that. I didn't officially cry, but my eyes did water up a little bit.
Told you, Bob. Told you, Sam. I saw it. Kirby was touched by the gesture. They were saying no, not Kirby. He wasn't crying. Again, not crying, but a little misty-eyed. Appreciative of the gesture. It was beautiful, and we were happy that you got that moment to get that last, kind of outing in front of the home fans.
Yes, sir. It was such a surreal moment. Just being able to experience that and know the support that all the fans, provided me and my teammates that night, and throughout the whole 5 years, it was just an awesome moment to experience.
Yeah, I gotta say, Kirby, just watching it again this morning, just the curtain call and everything else, just had to feel great. I mean, just the whole setting. What a way to I talked about this yesterday for all the guys who might have been playing their last game in Lindsey Nelson Stadium. That's just got to be a wonderful, wonderful way to go out. Talking about the weekend at hand, just for a minute. We won't look in the rearview mirror too long at Evansville because we got big games ahead of us. But you had a little bit of time in that weekend series in terms of time on the mound, obviously, and just from your perspective watching them, one of the things that I came away with Evansville in general was just how kind of pesky and gritty they were offensively. I mean, they particularly showed that out on the Saturday game. What was your takeaway with them? I mean, is that about as good a team as you faced the entire season at this point?
Yeah, I mean they're up there with that team's pretty good. Pitching wise, they're pretty good. They got a lot of guys out of the bullpen. They're a lot of old guys. And then their batting lineup it's pretty good, 1 through 9. You got guys that can leave the yard whenever they want, and then you got guys that are just scrappy up there at the plate. It's just a lot of guys that with a lot of grit and determination to try to get the job done and get to the next guy.
Talk about your boy Xander Seacrest. He came out again in a must-win situation and was electric, and even battled through the defense, kind of having some sloppy plays to start the game. He just kept battling, and absolutely shut down the Purple Aces. Yeah,
he was outstanding. I think it was so cool to watch him do that, especially on his last time throwing at Lindsey Nelson. And I joked around with him in the first few innings when he had some errors behind him. He goes, I don't know why it keeps happening. I said, you got to treat him better. And he was like, I'm always nice to him. I said, you got to be better.
Now that he was healthy and that he survived, did you give him any flack about the regional going down and looking like he was going to get stretchered off just to be able to stay in the game and keep pitching at a high level?
Oh, I messed around with them the whole week about that. It's just like, get out of the way of the ball.
Well, I thought so because it was funny. The second time he got hit, on Sunday, he quickly waved off the coach. Was like, no, I'm good. Stay in there. Don't come check me out. I'm fine. So it must have worked. Bullying, another point for bullying. It works.
Yeah, he came in and I was like, are you serious? Like, you want to know something? And he was like, don't tell me to catch the ball. I said, no, actually, if you just get out of the way of the ball on that one, we've been out of the inning, but it's whatever you want to do.
What got into Tony Vitello this weekend? Because he was pretty fired up on Sunday night.
I could not tell you on that one. I've been told many times, we try not to watch any of his post-game meetings. So I've been told many times, like, Via is like all fiery success speech, and I've not really watched it because I think I kind of know what he was talking about. We've heard in meetings, he gets pretty fired up about success. So I can just only imagine what it was like.
What was the difference in mindset coming out Sunday? Because you could tell from the get-go, and maybe it was just as simple as, hey, Christian Moore set the tone with that home run to lead off, the bottom half of the first, but it seemed like there was a different type of focus and energy, coming out backs against the wall after kind of a letdown on Saturday. Was that just a team effort and like a team mentality that you guys discussed and like, hey, lock in? Because you guys have been good following losses all year. Or was that just a, hey, guys hit the ball hard and the wheels kind of got rolling there?
And I think it was, we showed up to the field ready to play. We showed up to the field. We knew we were playing like a primetime game, and we knew when the lights came on, we had to show up. So luckily, when we showed up to the field, it was ready to go. And as soon as we got out of the car, it was on.
That felt like one of the more complete games, and just in terms of the entire team all season. You've got obviously so much production coming from the bats in your lineup, and then you get an incredible performance from Xander, and you guys get it done in the back end of the bullpen there. How much confidence and how important is a performance like that, where it's just clicking on all cylinders right before you get to Omaha?
Yeah, it was awesome. Just to be able to, be in the moment, be where our feet are in that moment. And, not looking forward into anything, not looking back into the past, just worry about what's going on right then and there. So to be able to experience it all and see the whole team come together. Basically, that's what Veed said. He told us on Saturday night. He said, if y'all want to win tomorrow, or if y'all want to be able to play longer, you guys got to show up and you got to play together, and you got to come together tomorrow. So I think we kind of took that one to heart. It was like, all right, well, if we want to move on, if we want to go try to win a national championship, we all got to play together.
Joined by Tennessee relief pitcher Kirby Connell, and that's a good cue to what you just said as far as looking ahead now. And you look at Florida State, and we've talked a little bit about the Seminoles this morning, and one of the things that we know about their frontline pitcher, Jamie Arnold, but also offensively, this is a pretty strong team. I mean, they've got good bats. They've got some guys who are highly productive on the offensive side. Have you guys had a chance yet? Is it just too soon? I mean, it was just Sunday night. You guys wrapped things up, but between yesterday and what you have ahead today, you guys have some look ahead as far as what you're focusing on when it comes to Florida State?
Not really yet. We're gonna look at it as we got to play 9 innings. And we're gonna get their best, and so we got to give them our best. But the offense is pretty good. You mentioned Jamie Arnold and their pitching staff. It's outstanding. So it's gonna be a dogfight for 9 innings. I can tell you that.
This is a pretty cool question to get to ask. It's a nice flex, but rank this trip to Omaha of your 3. The first one, losing that Omaha virginity in 21. Last year, getting back, as underdogs, right? Having to go on the road and win the regional at Clemson, then go to Southern Miss. And now this one, as you're back as the number 1 seed kind of in your last ride. Where does this one rank in terms of your Omaha appearances?
I think this one's going to go down as number 1. I think this one's going to be just a great experience. Have some fun with it because like you said, it's the last one. I won't be able to ever go back as a player, so might as well have some fun with it and enjoy it.
Have there been any lessons that you think the team has learned from these first 2 trips? For the guys that have been there for all 3, or even the guys that were there last year, is there anything you guys have learned that can help you prepare for what you're about to embark on?
I think one thing would probably embrace the moment. Not a lot of guys get to do this. Not a lot of guys get to do it twice, and especially not a lot of guys get to do it 3 times. So for us, just be able to embrace the moment and take it all in, because you never know when your chances or to play or go back ever again could happen.
It has to feel good, and no disrespect to Florida State. I know they got good arms, but it has to feel at least a little bit good knowing Paul Skeens isn't there waiting in game one because that guy was a freak.
That is true. That is true. We don't have to worry about facing Paul Skeens, first game. So, but I mean, they're like I said, their pitching staff's pretty good. So, you might as well just go ahead and think of it as we might face Paul Skeens.
So talk a little bit about the schedule ahead. When do you guys depart for Omaha at this point? Because you don't play till Friday evening, which I think is a good situation for you guys schedule wise. But how soon do you get to Omaha and start working out and things like that?
Yeah. So we're leaving tomorrow. We're going to practice at the field, and then we'll leave around. I'm not really sure what time, but I think it's like right after lunch. And then we'll get there, just kind of hang out for the rest of the night. Thursday, we got practice at Charles Schwab Field, do like a little photo shoot, stuff like that. And then we have a banquet, I guess it's like the first pitch banquet or something like that, on Thursday night. And then Friday is just a normal Friday for us.
V talked about this in the press conference too, about obviously the value of getting to Omaha again with a legitimate shot to win it all. I mean, that's front and center. But also he said, he feels like from a locker room culture perspective, this team doesn't want to be done yet. They want to continue to spend at least another week or two together. And as you go through this process and you head to Omaha, obviously that's on your mind too, right? I mean, it's kind of what John talked about a little earlier, how special this must feel for you too, having been able to do it 3 times.
Yeah, this team seems a lot different than all the other teams I've been a part of. This team is just, it's a group of guys that, a group of friends, all of us, spend so much time together outside of the field, and we kind of want to spend a lot of time, a lot more time together before all of us, depart and go our own separate ways. But no, I think this moment, this week, and this, however much longer we have together, we're going to spend it. We're going to spend it together.
The bottom half of that bracket is kind of littered with the other SEC teams that have made it to Omaha, but we're kind of sticking up there at the top just with the rest of the ACC. Do you kind of feel like that's an advantage of, that you guys get as a pitching staff to be able to play a group of teams that just you haven't really seen so far this year? Is that an advantage, you think down the line where these guys haven't seen you, they don't know your stuff, or do you kind of enjoy having a little bit of a familiarity and a little bit of a scouting report on some of these guys if you happen to be in that bottom half of the bracket?
I don't really know. Kind of look at it as both sides of that. Just being able to, it kind of helps to know your opponent, but then it kind of helps just to know that, okay, the other guys don't know what they're going to get from us. They can have a scouting report, but things change in the middle of the game. So kind of look at it as both sides there.
If you get them out, you'll be like, oh, it's because they hadn't seen my stuff before. If they get a hit off you, it's like, oh, I haven't seen their bats before. So you play the result there, Sam, is what you do. Kirby, best of luck, man. I'm happy for you guys making it back to Omaha as fans. It's been a great ride these last 3 or 4 years. We're looking forward to more of them. Really hope this is the year we can break through and get it done. We'll be rooting hard for you. Best of luck out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on here.
Thank you, Kirb.
Safe travels, my friends. And, hey, I like that he was willing to admit that he teared up. I told you guys.
Yeah.
I told you guys.
That was good.
Appreciate Kirby for being so generous with his time with us this season. I appreciate the insight. And I kind of got that vibe watching Xander wave off the staff. I was like, oh, I bet the team gave him hell like last week for having the trainers run out as if he was like going to get stretchered off, only for him to get up.
Yeah, I think he's gotten hit more than our whole pitching staff combined. Feels like he's gotten hit 4 or 5 times by a comebacker.
Well, he's gotten hit twice in a row. Like he's not trending in the right direction. And like it's cost us an out both times. Like you're able to laugh it off, but I want to say like he got hits on the pitch that ended up loading the bases, right, in the 4th inning. Like I want to say that ground ball that went off, or the line drive that went off him and turned into a ground ball, loaded the bases and made it, put the game in a precarious situation, as you had, I believe, a 5-1 lead at that point. But he was able to settle down and get the last out of that inning.
I can't remember who it was against, but there was another one where he got hit where like we were rolling into a double play and it hit off his leg and we didn't get anything.
I think that was against Southern Miss on
Maybe.
In the regional. It feels like
felt like a regular season game, but it might have happened twice.
Might have happened twice. Just simply move, bro. Let the middle infielders do their job. That's all you got to do.
I loved. He just said, "Yeah, all week long." I gave him grief. That was that's quite a. Just sitting there talking to him about it, man. That's quite a career to be able to say you went to 3 College World Series.
It's a nice flex.
Yeah,
it's a nice flex. Like rank them. I think this one's going to be the best one of the 3, and we've done it in 3 different ways too. Like. That's the thing also about, this program and Kirby, who's been here, for all of them. And, you're there in 21 as you kind of get that initial ride, right? Like where you have a little unfinished business from the COVID team. And Kirby himself told us, hey, our 2020 team was our best team. We think that was our most talented team from top to bottom when you look at the top ace you had with Crochet in the lineup. And that kind of got stolen from us by COVID. But you really break on the national scene in 2021 and you break through and you get there. Then you even have the down where you're the best team in college baseball, maybe in college baseball history, but you kind of choke, you kind of gag it away. You miss that opportunity. And then you have another chapter of your story where you get to just be the underdog that kind of underachieves but gets hot. And then, is battle-tested and goes and gets their redemption against Clemson and gets their redemption down in Hattiesburg and wins 2 in a row with their backs against the wall. And then this year has like kind of the hunted, the number 1 seed, the team everyone wants to knock off. And guess what? They still ain't knocked you off. Like it's kind of crazy the story arc of just Kirby's career and of Tennessee baseball. Like that's 4 drastically different seasons. 5 if you go back to COVID. You got to see that as well. You saw the ovation the fans gave Kirby. Like he's a fan favorite. He will be synonymous with Tennessee baseball. I didn't want to put him on the spot, but I did notice, just saying, he says my last trip to Omaha as a player and leaving that door open. And Tony talked about at the beginning of the year, wanting him to stick around and be on the coaching staff if his post-college playing career doesn't take off. Just something to put
he'll probably sign the contract as a coach in the locker room after the.
I was going to say, I feel like that's
whether we win or lose.
That's like the worst kept secret of all. I just think I'm expecting him to be there. And that gives me comfort too. Just thinking of him on the staff too. Again, great culture guy. Such a teammate, and even at a coaching level, I think he'll be that good too.
Is Kirby just our pitching coach in 3 years or something like that when Frank Anderson retires?
That's interesting. I don't know. Could be. Maybe they're
grooming
him.
I feel like we got Frank Anderson whenever he wants to retire from baseball. I feel like Kirby's just right in that slot to just pick up right where he left off.
Well, hopefully, 3 or 4 years from now, Frank has passed along all of his wisdom. Mm-hmm. Problem is, I don't know if Kirby's got it in him to be scary. I've always seen him just kind of vibing. Like, Frank's scary. When I see Frank walk to the mound, like, it intimidates me. And, if I was a pitcher, I'd be like, okay, yes, sir, I'll throw strikes now. I need him to teach that to Kirby. The moment Kirby becomes a coach, he just buzzes his head, has a whole different vibe. Like, hey, this isn't player Kirby anymore. That was long-haired, jolly Kirby. This is means business Kirby.
That's exactly what I was thinking, too. It's like he probably, does he change the hair, the mustache, all that stuff? Probably would change.
Let's go to break. It's the morning show on FanRun Radio.